Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how I put together these little beautiful triangle boxes. And inside this box here, it's a two-part box. You're able to put these are little dove promises. I think you could probably fit 6 of them in there if you stack them. But 3 fit in there perfectly, and the box just goes together just like this. And I have one of the bows that I showed you how to make this in my video on Thursday. I'll put the date on there. I'll actually put the link to the video for this bow that I made. So anyway, this is the project that I'm going to show you how to make today. I have this in the Sahara Sand, and this of course is in the Rococo Rose, which we no longer have the Rococo Rose cardstock, but the Designer Series paper is a specialty Designer Series paper is still available until June 30th. So I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to show you how I made these little triangle boxes. Now you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. I'm going to be using some Blushing Bride here, and the die that I'm going to use, not to cut out but to actually trace, or you know, as I'm going to be using this as kind of a template or guide, and I'm going to be placing it, we're going to be doing 2, top and bottom, and I'm going to be bringing up my silicone craft sheet. Now what I have here in between is just a piece of removable Scotch tape. You could use washi tape too, but I did that so that I can hold it down without it moving around too much. And now what I need to do is kind of center this, just making sure that side to side here we have even amounts, and pretty even amounts from top to bottom, okay? Because, you know, of course the rectangle isn't ever going to fit into a square perfectly. So I'm going to just go ahead and press that down so that my die can stay still. And then I'm going to be bringing out my stylus from my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to just run my stylus with my silicone craft sheet underneath. I'm going to run my stylus all along the side of this die, okay? And I just go over it a couple of times. All right, I'm turning it so, because I'm right-handed and it's a little bit easier for me to do that. Now my die has a little bit of a burr right there. I just skip it. I just skip over it, and it's just on the one side, so I'm good. All right, we're gonna do this last side here. We're gonna do both of these pieces of cardstock at the same time. So let me take this off so I can show you. You can see where I have made those score lines there, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it again on this one here, and I'll try to speed the camera up because you don't really need to see me do this over again, right? Okay, so I am done scoring both of these, and what I need to do is now fold that score line here, but between the, I'm just going to make one the top, so I'm just going to put a little T right here, making this the top, and this will be the bottom. And what I need for to explain is that this score line here, any score line, is going to have 2 sides and a middle. Okay, the way you score it, that's just the way it is. And now you have a choice of whether you want to fold on this side of the score line, on the other side, or right down the middle. And so for the bottom piece, I want to score on the inner side of this score line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to make sure that I'm folding right on that inner line of that score line. And with the top, I'm going to be scoring on that outer line of the score line. And the reason is I want my top to fit over the bottom piece perfectly, and it does if I do it this way. So now I've got this score line here. Now I'm going to press right here, and I'm going to bring up my let me move that aside. I'm going to bring up my bone folder, because all I need to do is just continue that score line all the way, and it's going to be folded right here. So now I have that score line all the way down like that. And I'm going to do that on all three, making sure that on the bottom piece I get that inner part of that score line. Okay. Now on the outside line, I want to do the opposite. I want to make sure that that fold is on the outer side of the score line. Okay, and that's just going to make it a little bit bigger so that the top will fit over the bottom. Okay, now that I have all of my score lines burnished down, I'm going to be bringing in my paper trimmer. And here we go. And so what I need to do is I need to make this box 3/4 of an inch tall. And in order to do that, I need to line up my score lines. It doesn't really matter where on here, as long as it's straight. I'm going to line up the score line to the 3/4 of an inch on both sides, top and bottom here. So you're going to try to get it as perfect as you can, because then you're going to cut like this. Okay, and you're going to do that again on all three lines. You'll be doing that. Just make sure that you're right in line with that score line. And we are going to trim. So you should have this. Okay, and I'm going to do the other one real quick. Okay, so I have two of these now. And now what you need to do is you need to make some additional score lines. And that isn't going to be too hard to do, but I'm going to go ahead and mark them with my pencil. So I'm going to bring up my ruler. And if you notice where the two score lines meet, I need to straighten this edge here. Okay, in other words, I need to make sure that this edge right here is going to be straight. So I'm just going to use my pencil. Let me move my ruler over. And the top part of my ruler is going to be parallel to this score line right here. And I'm just going to draw a line this way. And you only need to do that on one side. And I'm doing that on both of these. Okay, and now on the other side, this side right here, I need to do the same, but I need to make a score line. And so this is how I have decided to do that. I am going to just do the same thing pretty much, but this time I'm going to be grabbing my stylus from my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to place my stylus right where those score lines meet in the middle, and I'm going to line this up like this and just score it, because that line is going to get folded, this line is going to get cut, and I don't want to get confused as to which one does what. So I'm just lining this up here parallel to the score line here, and then I'm going to just score that down or up, just to make sure that this is straight. And you're going to do that on both of these, top and bottom. Okay, now that I have all my score lines done on the other sides, I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper snips, and we're going to start trimming. And this is where we're going to trim. Just trim that pencil line completely off. Okay, and then you want to trim this little triangle here completely off. Okay, and you want to just kind of maybe shorten that little tab right there, just so it could be semi-square, okay? And you're going to do the same on all sides, all 3 sides of each piece. So I'm actually cutting off the score line right here, okay? And then I'm going to just shorten that little tab right there, because this is the way it's going to fold. When you fold that in, it's going to fold like that to make your triangle, okay? Hopefully you're following me. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to understand. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to make a triangle box. I think Stampin' Up! Used to have a triangle box die at one time. I don't know that I bought one. If I did, it's put away or sold, or I don't know. But anyway, if you don't have a die to do this, this is like one of the easiest ways for you to do this box. Okay, and so since this is the top, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my designer series paper on here. And what I've done is I've just die cut the same triangle. Oh, where's that triangle? It's here somewhere. Here it is, right here. Okay, I just die cut the same triangle out of this designer series paper from the, oh, what is it called? Love You Always Specialty designer series paper. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and place it on here. I think I will just go ahead and add some seal. Whoa. Sometimes it wants to grab the paper and not lay down the tape. You gotta be careful with that seal. Okay, it's just going to have a little bit of a border all the way around on this top. Okay, and now we can go ahead and put together our boxes, and with tear and tape. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the tear and tape, because every time I try to use the seal is such a strong tape. It sometimes wants to peel up the paper. Well, at least that's the way I use it. So I have to be really careful with that. And I'm going to put down 2 little strips of tear and tape. And there's one more thing that I am going to do to the top so that it makes it a little easier to open and close. I didn't do that with the other boxes, but I just remembered I really need to. And I'm just going to take a punch, and any circle punch that you have, let's see, let me grab my circle punches. Okay, I just have a 1-inch circle punch from a long time ago, and now I'm going to decide which is my top, and basically I want it to be in the back. So let's see, I think, is that the way I want it? No, we're going to go right here. Okay. That's kind of weird. Okay, we're going to do, let's just do this. I want to kind of be in the center between here and here. I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm just going to cut a little finger notch there. You can do that with a smaller punch too, but believe me, that's going to make it easier to open and close your box and take the lid off. So let's get out our Take Your Pick tool, and we are going to remove the backer paper of the tear and tape. Okay, that little piece of tape that's sticking out, I'm just going to fold that in. Okay, and now it's time to put our box together. And you just want to match this little seam right here. Okay, just like that on all sides. Now you want to make sure that you fold this. Okay, I didn't fold them before, but you want to fold them, and you want to make sure that these are going to match up the corners really good, and they will. They'll match pretty good. Okay. Okay, see that right there? Okay, now let's put the top together, and the top, I'm going to actually put the box in here like this, and then we're going to fold this up, fold that in like that, and then this is going to fold up. Let's grab it like this so you can see. Okay, this is going to fold over like that. This is going to match up like so. Okay, and we're going to do the same on this side, but we're going to tuck this in. Let's fold that. Let's bring that inside, tucking it in and matching up the sides like right here. Okay, now I can cut that off because it didn't match up perfectly there, but that's okay. We can cut that off. And then the last one here, we're folding that over and trying to match that up just like that. Okay, and now because we have this little finger notch, we can take this box and open it and close it. So what I'm going to do is just trim that little piece that's hanging over. Sometimes you can wedge in a little bit more than I did. And there's a little piece right there. And now this box will fit perfectly over the top of our bottom piece, our bottom triangle. There we go, and it's a nice snug fit too. Okay, now let's decorate this. I'm going to put, let's see, I have some Blushing Bride cardstock. I'm sorry, I can't think and talk at the same time. Blushing Bride cardstock, and I have this little For You stamp, and that's little For You stamp is from the Sweet Strawberry stamp set. This one here, Just For You. That's what it is, Just For You. Now I'm going to take some Blushing Bride ink, because I'm going to do this tone on tone, and let's see how that's going to look. Okay, Just For You. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, Just For You. And then I'm going to take a circle die, and this is the smallest circle from the circle dies. Let's see, I forget what they're called. They're just called layering circle dies, and I'm going to just go ahead and run this through the die cutting machine. I will be right back. Okay, and here we go. And I've already die cut the little foil piece that's going to go behind it. It's going to have a very, very thin edge. And it's going to look really pretty. I don't know if you can see how that sparkles. But I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of Tombow Mono adhesive right in the middle here, so we can make sure that it's positioned correctly. And it's, like I said, a very, very thin border, but you can see the sparkle of that foil, or that shine of that foil that's behind it. And I want to make sure that it's right in the center. And also what I have made is a little bow, and that's going to go right here. And I'm just going to put a little bit more of this multi-purpose liquid glue right there. Let me close this up. We're going to put this bow right here. Oops. Should have probably put the glue a little bit further down, but that's okay. Right about here. Okay. And that's going to dry like that. I'm going to put this, oops. I am going to be putting this on a dimensional. Oop, I got to make sure that this is straight here. All right. And this piece, this little thing is going to go on a dimensional. And we're just going to put one dimensional behind it here. And it's going to say Just For You popped up like that. And try to get it centered before you stick it down. And straight. There you go. Okay. This is my little triangle box that I have made. Now let's bring the other ones in. Okay. Here we go. Look at how pretty they are. Aren't they cute? I love this little design. Now, if you want to make the triangle a little bit taller, instead of lining it up at that 3/4 inch when I did that at first, what you want to do is just move it over to the 1 inch, or you could move it over to the 1.5 inches, depending on how tall you want to make your triangles. But they'll always be 3 3/4 inch on every side, okay? And this is, of course, 3/4 of an inch tall, and that's how tall I wanted to make mine today. So I hope that I've taught you something. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, so that you can get notified. If you click the notification bell, you'll get notified every time I bring out a video. So if you need any of the tools and supplies that I use in this video, please go to my website at www.geoamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. Everything is going to be listed in the description of the video. So once again, I am Jeanette with Geoamazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.